But listen, I want to talk about the Trump legacy. Just have a listen to this. This is Donald Trump talking about his own legacy. Why not?
The future of this country has never been better. I wish the new administration great luck and great success. I think they'll have great success. They have the foundation to do something really spectacular. And again, we put it in a position like it's never been before.
Rita, a fair assessment?
It's interesting. I think the far more interesting thing, other than what's his legacy, because that all just depends on who you ask. Ask the mainstream media and you'll get a very different answer than the, roughly half the population who supports him in the US. But the question remains, is this the end of Donald Trump's presidency run? Will he run again? He certainly can. There's nothing that stops you from running again once you've served a term. Next time around, he'll be 78. That's no spring chicken, but that's how old Joe Biden is today. So that is, I think, the enduring question, and one that will address in the next near future, I would think. I would think in the next few months we'll learn whether he has got another run in him.
Well, I think he definitely has, and he's obviously going to wait and see how it all plays out. But, James, I love the strategy. What a clever strategy to be saying, look, I have left you, Joe Biden, a perfect, you're not fixing up any mess. You've got it all. You've got a booming economy. You've got this, you've got that. All these things I put in place. Over to you to make it even better. What a great strategy, James.
Well, up to a point, because there are, that coronavirus did knock the economy around. It did knock the country around quite a bit for the last year.
Biden's saying he can't do anything about that.
But Biden's saying he can't do anything about it. I know that he's boxing him in on this. I mean, I think when it comes to the Trump legacy, the first 3 years of the Trump presidency achieved incredible things, and we saw a lot of things in the fourth, too, with foreign policy successes. Where I think, we would be talking a very different game, and we'd be looking at a second Trump term right now, is if at the start of the coronavirus, I think that he underutilized Mike Pence. I reckon that if he had used Vice President Mike Pence more to deal with the rollout of treatments and the management of the pandemic and everything else, I think it would have cleared a lot of air for him to do the other stuff that he does. And we might be talking about something different. That's all hindsight is 2020. But that said, everybody who's saying that Trump achieved nothing has absolutely no idea what they're talking about. The economy was doing great with real wage growth for low-income earners for the first time in decades under Trump. The foreign policy was great. Yes, not just no new wars, but also peace deals and, calling BS on the whole thing where the Palestinians are the key to peace in the Middle East. Well, he saw right through that. And now we're looking at, I think, a more dangerous world under Joe Biden. We're looking at a world where
definitely. There's no
China, Iran, Turkey are all empowered. I think we're looking at one where the United States is going to be weaker, and I think it's very bad news for Australia.
Well, I agree with you, but I take issue with your thing about what Trump could have done differently or done better, because I think a lot of people are saying that, well, if only Trump had done this, if only Trump had done that. It was very clear there was a very clear plan to get Trump, and it didn't matter pretty much whichever way he went. Whatever he did on the virus, they were out to get him. It didn't matter what he did. The fix was in going back many, many months. And, for example, the Capitol Hill riot was a disgrace. Yes, we know that was a disgrace. But to pin it on the blame to the point of impeachment, which is ludicrous, on Donald Trump for getting out and doing his Democratic riot at a rally, according to James and Rita, according to longtime lefty lawyer Alan Dershowitz, Trump had every right to make his Capitol speech Hill. And Dershowitz himself says today the Conservatives are speaking up for free speech because the left is repressing their free speech. The left may have become so certain of their own truths that they don't think there's any need for dissent. Many support cancel culture, which is a direct denial of both freedom of speech and due process. The certainty breeds intolerance, says Dershowitz.